Yo, what it do, wealth champions? Y'all know what time it is, man. It is that time of the morning where we bring to you the Cortez Hustle Show. And I am super excited, as I am always, to get my Monday morning started off, to get my week started off, man. And I welcome each and every one of you guys to the show this morning. Hopefully you are excited about your week. Hopefully you're ready to crush it this week as am I. We got a wonderful show lined up for you today. We're talking about Monetize My Life, 4 incredibly simple ways to turn your passions into profit with little to no startup costs, based on my best-selling book, Monetize My Life. So we're going to get into that today. There's 5 simple strategies that you need to deploy in order to turn your gifts into profits. We're going to talk a lot about that. We're going to talk about the 4 different mediums to building a brand. We're going to be talking about how to choose a platform. Let's see what else we have. We're also going to be talking about my boss up formula, right? How is it that I am able to keep everything in order as I am doing my thing in terms of the different podcasts that I do, my video live streams, my courses. How do I do all of that and keep everything in focus? And then we're going to talk about why I personally chose video as my medium and why I think that's a good idea for any and everybody. So do me a favor, as you are coming into the live stream, go ahead and comment in the chat where you're from. Also drop the name of your business and or your brand if you like a free business shout out. I love to scream out the other entrepreneurs who are doing great things. Just don't post any links, but definitely tell me a little bit about your business and or your brand so I can give you that shout out. There's over 100,000 people that follow the page. You never know who might want to connect with you based on seeing your information in the comment thread. So don't be afraid to shout yourself out, guys. If you're not shouting you out, who else is, right? So we've got a great show lined up for you today. Let me know what platform you're tuning in on as well. Zanetta looks like she's on the Facebook platform. Welcome to the stream this morning. So I'm going to run my disclaimer this morning, and then we're going to go ahead and get the show started. So make sure you keep it locked right here. The Cortez Hustle Show is a copyrighted production of iHustle Media Group. Any unauthorized use of the video, audio, captions, depictions of this show without express written consent of iHustle Media Group is strictly prohibited. iHustle Media Group, a better way to market.
And now back to the Cortez Hustle Show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am your host, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur from myperfectmoneyplan.com. And I am excited because it is Monday, man. Some people dread Mondays, but I love Mondays because it is the start of my short work week. See, I have a short work week because I've decided to give myself Wednesdays off. So I've got Monday and Tuesday is like my Friday. So Monday for me is like my Thursday, I guess. But Monday is when I look at my goals and the things that I'm trying to achieve, and I'm going from, day to day, week to week as I set out my goals and my plans, and I'm looking to explode my business from Monday, and that's kind of what kicks it all off. So Charlotte Polk is in the building also. Good morning. Yes, I will be down south before the summer is out, Charlotte, so we get to hang out a little bit. But how do you turn your gifts, talents, special abilities, your experience, and your expertise into income? Do me a huge favor, guys. Smash that share button. Somebody on your timeline this morning is gifted at something. They've got a talent. They've lived through an experience, like my girl Charlotte has lived through an experience, kicked cancer in the teeth. And if she wanted to, maybe she wants to turn that experience into income. And I'm going to show her how to do that this morning, if that's something that she's open to. So today's show is part 1 of a 5-part series where we're going to be breaking down some of the principles in my book, Monetize My Life, 4 incredibly simple ways to turn your passions into profit with little to no startup costs. Ladies and gentlemen, I think most of us think that it costs a lot of money to get a business started, but it does not. Make sure you go over to Monetize My Life now, get your copy of this book absolutely free. You cover shipping and the book is yours. I will send it right out to you. There's 5 core principles to turning your passions into profit. And we're going to get into those heavily today. But what's going on in the world of entertainment over the weekend, man? I kept hearing a lot of stuff about this WAP. And I'm like, what the heck is a WAP? But apparently, Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion dropped a song over the weekend that is very, very vulgar and very provocative. And a lot of people didn't like that. So, well, I'll tell you what Cardi B is doing. Cardi B is turning her gifts, talent, special abilities, experience, and expertise into profit. Whether you like it or not, she came from the world of exotic dancing and things of that nature. And she's using what she knows. She's using what she's gifted at. And she's really gifted at garnering attention, right? Even the move that she made by bringing Kylie Jenner into the actual video, right? I got to give a shout out to my man, Markwell Russell. He posted this on his timeline. And if you're not following Markwell, Mr. High Ticket Sales himself, he's a great coach and business leader in the community. But he talked about why she put Kylie Jenner in the video. And if you look at the social media following of Kylie Jenner, it is crazy bananas, right? That was a controversial move. And she knew that that would get people talking about the song. Kylie Jenner being in the video, of course, Kylie is going to promote the video to her social media following. So just smart business all across the board from Cardi B's team. And you got to understand that in the world of business, the toughest and hardest thing to do is to get exposure, right? And she has mastered the game of getting exposure, and she gets so much exposure that people just don't like it. You know, she's not doing anything other different than a lot of male rappers are doing. You know, men rappers and entertainers have for years always talked very provocatively. They've always been in video shoots with no shirt on and selling their sexuality and all that kind of stuff. But it's a double standard when it comes to women, and I get it. But nevertheless, I just thought that was interesting how everybody is talking about that song. And guess what, y'all? That's exactly what she wants us to be doing. And that further builds the brand, whether we like it or not. So when it comes to monetizing your life, your gift, your talent, your special ability, there's 5 things that I outline in the book, Monetize My Life. Again, let me put this in the comments so that you guys can know to go there and grab your free copy of the book. It is www.monetizemylifenow.com. And when you go there, you can get the book for free. All you have to do is cover shipping. I think it's like $7.95 or something like that. And I'll ship it out for you guys today. But there's 5 core elements to monetizing your gift, your talent, your special ability, your skill, your expertise, your experience. All of those things can start bringing you money. So number 1 is the first thing that you have to do is expose what you know, right? You expose what you know. So in exposing what you know is doing what I'm doing right now. I'm exposing to you guys that I know how to turn my gift, talent, and special ability into profit because one of my gifts is empowering people. And I was able to do that with a book, right? So that's one of the ways that I'm exposing to people what it is that I know. You go from exposing people to what you know, then you go to making sure that not only can you get results based on what you know, you help other people get results by teaching what you know. I've been able to teach hundreds of people how to do what I do, and they all got similar results, right? So that lets me know that not only do what I teach work, but I also know how to teach it in a way that other people can implement it. So I have the ability to help them understand the material and then also help them execute on the material. So teaching what you know is another big component. Then ultimately you want to get to a place where you sell what you know. Now, I know that most people have an STD when it comes to sales, right? No, I'm not talking about that kind of STD. I'm talking about when it comes to sales, most people are scared to death, right? And I got to thank my man Rashawn Longhorn for that, because he would say that all the time. I'm like, man, what are you talking about, an STD when it comes to sales? People are just scared to death, right? We've been taught that a salesperson or a sales jobs makes you a sleazy person, right? But that's just not true. So you got to ultimately get to a place where you sell what you know. One of the best ways to sell what you know is through a digital format. So you want to digitize what you know, right? And it's very easy to digitize what you know in this age of technology. But when you sell what you know through a digital platform, that is where you have the highest margin in terms of profit, because this book will cause me to have to spend money on the printing and then the shipping of the book, right? But the material in the book is still the same. It's equally as valuable. So if I can deliver this same book electronically, where I don't have to pay to have the book actually printed, I don't have to pay to have it shipped, then guess what? My profit margins go through the roof. So you want to understand how to digitize what it is that you know. And then ultimately, you want to automate what you know. How do you make sales? How do you create a platform that will allow you to profit from your passions on autopilot? So those are the 5 elements. Today, we're going to focus on element number 1, exposing what you know. This is probably by far the most frightening ways to do this. I'm going to actually pull up something for my girl Charlotte as well, because I know that she had a tough battle with cancer, and I hope you're okay with me using that example, Charlotte. But she's an overcomer. She's a winner, and what I want her to see is that this young lady took her experience, right? Because a lot of times we say things like, "Well, Cortez, I don't have a gift. I don't have a talent. I don't have a special ability. I'm not an expert at anything," right? But sometimes it's an experience that you've gone through, that you have overcome, that you came out on the other side, right? Okay, so she said it's cool. All right. So what I want to share with Charlotte is I'm going to share my screen with her real quick, and I'm going to show you guys how this young lady was able to take her experience, right, with cancer and overcoming cancer. This young lady had stage 4, right? And if you guys go and check out Crazy Sexy Cancer, she took her experience and she turned it into income, right? This is the website. Chris Carr is her name. You go to Chris Carr, KRISCARR.com, and you'll see that she has a DVD, a documentary on how she kicked cancer in the teeth. It says Crazy Sexy Cancer, the documentary film I wrote and directed, and my loving husband edited, premiered at the SX by Southwest Film Festival, and then later aired on TLC and OWN, right? I was a 31-year-old actress and photographer. I was diagnosed with a rare and incurable stage 4 cancer. Weeks later, I began filming my story. taking a seemingly tragic situation and turning it into a creative expression. I shared my cancer journey with courage, strength, and lots of humor. This is truly where my mission, passion, and work began. So you can actually go and buy this documentary, right? But in addition to that, she has all kinds of other things that she does from her blog that makes her money. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm saying is she has an experience that she overcame, and she's now turning that experience into income. How many of you guys have gone through something, right, that you didn't expect to make it on the other side? How many of you guys know other people that have gone through something similar to what you have gone through, or they are in the middle of going through it right now? Do you think your story could help them? Yeah. So Chris Carr now speaks all over the world about overcoming trauma, the fear, the anxiety, all the things, the nutrition plan that she implemented, how she overcame all of that, became a revenue stream for her. At the same time, sent her on a mission to empower other people fighting rare forms of cancer, stage 4 cancer, stage 3 cancer, and what she was able to do and how she beat it both physically, and the most important part, it was how she able to maintain mentally a belief that she would come out on the other side of this. So taking an experience, and she followed the same formula that I teach in the book. She exposed what she knew. She ultimately started teaching what she knew. She taught people how to eat, change their diets, change their lifestyle. Then ultimately, she put programs together that she would sell. Then she started getting paid to come and speak, right? So she started to sell what she know. Ultimately, she digitized what she know, which is what she did with her documentary. That is digitizing what she knows. She puts it on a digital format, and now she's able to automate that, because guess what? Chris Carr is not here at the website selling the DVD. If you go buy the DVD, it's automatically going to go into a team of people who's going to package and ship it to you, and she is not manually packing up these DVDs and sending it to you. She's got some automation in her business. So let me ask you, what kind of experience have you gone through? If you haven't gone through an experience, then what kind of skill set have you developed over the years, right? A lot of you guys have skill sets that you've developed on your job that you can sell outside of your job, right? I've got another friend who lives here locally in St. Louis. Her job for the last 20 plus years was in HR, right? Human resources. She developed the skills on that job as a human resource professional, and now she was able to walk away from her job and build her own consultant firm. Now she teaches other companies how to implement human resource administrative tactics in their business. She teaches after reviewing hundreds and thousands of resumes during the hiring process for her company. Now she teaches people how to properly format and build resumes that will get them hired, right? See, it doesn't have to be a skill that you necessarily went and studied and learned for the purpose of monetizing. It's just a skill that you have, man. So exposing what you know is where I started my journey. So my skill set for empowering people economically started in the network marketing industry. I joined a company, and the whole mission of that company was teaching people how to become financially literate through a set of strategies that most working class people simply don't know. Well, because I had been in the network marketing industry for a little while, I had tried several different companies. And if you guys know anything about network marketing, the first thing they teach you how to do is go and build a list of all your family and friends, right? And then ask them and pitch them on the business, right? Well, because this was like my 10th network marketing company, I had done that several times already. I knew I was not going to have success with going to talk to family and friends because I had already talked to them on several different things. Now, here's what's funny is your family and friends will judge you in a network marketing business for trying out different companies until you find one that's a good fit for you. But they won't judge you if you move from company to company, right? If I went from Hewlett Packard to IBM, I went from IBM to Microsoft, I went from Microsoft to Google, nobody would have a problem with that because they say, hey, he's working, he's in the same industry, he's just trying to find the right company that's a good fit for him. Well, in the network marketing industry, I'm still in the industry. I just went from a nutrition company to a consumable products company and ultimately a financial education company. And of course, I got judged because it's like, what you doing now, right? What happened to the last thing that you was doing, right? So I knew that I was not going to go and talk to family and friends, but we have this wonderful invention called the internet that gives me access to millions of people in the palm of my hand via my cell phone. So I had learned that I can actually shoot videos, put them up on YouTube. And if I'm talking about things that people are interested in, they will actually go and search that stuff on YouTube. And if I do my videos right, they will find me. So that was the beginning of me developing a skill set in the area of network marketing that allowed me to personally recruit over 350 people into that opportunity, right? So now I have experience and I have a skill set that millions of people in the network marketing industry want. So I started to take my skill set and I started to expose what I know to those people in that industry. And that ultimately led to me selling courses and building a small consultant practice where I teach network marketers how to be effective online to grow their network marketing businesses. Now I have thorntononlinemarketing.com where you can go buy courses and my books and all that kind of stuff because I'm doing what I'm teaching you guys how to do right now. I'm monetizing my life. My life is in network marketing. I learned how to become a good network marketer. I learned how to become a good recruiter. I learned how to become a good trainer. So I teach other network marketers how to do that. I'm taking a skill set that I developed over the last five and a half, almost 6 years, and now I'm monetizing that. But then I realized that as I started teaching other people, it didn't just work for network marketing. I started teaching people in all kinds of businesses. If you simply expose what you know, you ultimately start teaching what you know for people to get the same results that you got, then you can sell what you know, and then ultimately digitize what you know to increase the margin on your products that you're selling, and then you can automate that. So I started teaching people outside of the network marketing industry the same thing, and it worked like gangbusters, and that's what led me to writing this book. I'm like, man, this formula works for whatever you do, right? So monetizemylifenow.com, you can get yourself a copy. So I share that's the process that worked in my life. And now I have a solid residual income based on those things. So now I teach and I share and I help other people develop those very same skill sets. So when we come back on the other side of this break, we're going to talk about the 4 different mediums that you could use to start exposing people to what you know and start building your brand. And that ultimately builds your tribe. It attracts people to you, and those people that you attract to you, then you can ultimately start teaching what you know, selling what you know, and so on and so forth. So let me run this quick commercial break, pay some bills, and then we will continue our discussion on monetizing your life. Hey, good morning, Wealth Champions. Hey, listen, if you want to be financially successful,
then you have to do what financially successful people do. And I know there's a few things that all wealthy people have in common. Number one, they understand that building wealth is a team sport. Number two, they understand the power of capitalism and business enterprise. Number three, they love to use systems and leverage. And number four, they all have mentors. My name is H. Cortez, also known as Financial Health Mentor. And for the last 5 years, I've been helping hardworking Americans get all of these things in place with one single membership. If you want to learn more about that, go to myperfectmoneyplan.com. Again, that's myperfectmoneyplan.com. And you're going to get a team of professionals, so you're not building wealth by yourself. You're going to get a system that's going to help you transform your finances. And last but not least, you're going to get some great mentorship to help you execute your game plan. So again, go to myperfectmoneyplan.com, and I'll see you on the other side.
How's that life? All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. I'm your host, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur. And we are talking about how you, my friend, can take your gift, talent, special abilities and turn them into income with little to no startup cost. So this is part one of a 5-part series. So make sure that you like the page, subscribe to the channel, wherever you're tuning in from, so that you don't miss us next week as we talk, continue to break down the process. So there's 5 areas that I teach people to monetize their life. And number one, you have to first expose people to what you know so that you can present yourself as someone who is knowledgeable, or you present yourself as the authority in your space. So when you're exposing people to what you know, there are 4 core mediums that you can choose from, right? You can pick these things based on your strength. So we basically communicate in 4 ways primarily. We use the written word, we use video, we use audio, and then we also use images, right? Hence, that's why we have these 4 different platforms that you could choose from. So you could choose, like I choose video. I just love video. I think you can connect with people on video in a very intimate way, but that's just my strength. People who love the written word, they will tell you, no, you can connect with people more intimately through the written word. I'll be honest, I'm just lazy, man. I don't like to write, right? And then other people will say, listen, I can use audio and people don't have to see me, but I can use my voice and I can connect with people in an intimate way. And then you have people who are very talented in the art of using imagery, photography, pictures, drawings, and things of that nature to connect with people, right? So the way I teach people to choose their medium is to choose the method that lines up with your strength, right? So for me, I know I'm not the best looking guy in the world, but I can get comfortable on video and I'm okay with that. I don't have some of the hangups that people have that they decide not to get on video. Some people just absolutely hate the way they look on video and they would never do a show like this, right? I'm okay with that. So I don't mind doing video, right? Some people don't like the sound of their voice, but they've got a great message they want to communicate with the world. So they use the written word, right? Some people don't like their voice. Some people don't like to be on camera, but they can tell a story through pictures. Those are the people who would choose a platform like Instagram and Snapchat, right? They can tell a story through pictures. I'm not that good at that, right? And I'm not that good at taking my thoughts from my head and putting them down on paper in a way that compels you to continue to read. And that's just not me, but I can hold a conversation. I can speak and verbalize my thoughts, and I don't mind doing that via audio or via video. So my question to you, if you're going to pick the platform to start exposing people to what you know, ask yourself this question: am I good at writing? And if you're good at writing and you actually like to write, then you, my friend, might be a good candidate to start a blog as a way to expose people to what you know, build a brand, and start attracting people to you, right? And if you're doing a blog based on something that you're passionate about, then believe it or not, you will never run out of things to write about. Just like I'm passionate about economic empowerment through entrepreneurship, so I never run out of things to talk about, because there's so many strategies that you can use to build wealth. There's so many strategies and angles that you can look at to build a business that, and I love it so much that I would never run out of things to talk about. So it's the same thing whenever you choose your medium, but you're choosing your medium based on your strength, right? So if you are a strong writer and you like to write, then chances are you can write a good blog post 2 or 3 times a week, right? And you can start expressing those thoughts. All you would then need to learn how to do from that point is, how do you market the blog and get traffic to that website, right? And there's great courses that you could learn that stuff. Again, if you go to thorntononlinemarketing.com, I have some very inexpensive courses for beginners to kind of get their feet wet in the world of making money online. So if you are a strong writer, then maybe blogging, or you can actually use something called long form posting on social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram. If you have a Facebook fan page, Facebook also has something that's very similar to a blog called a note. And you could actually write a 1,500 to 3,000 word post inside of Facebook, and people are successful who attracting people to them who like to read like that, and they'll read a whole 3,000 word post. I'm just not that guy, man, that's gonna write 3,000 words, right? But in this podcast, we're live for an hour, so I'm probably going to say 3,000 to 5,000 words in this podcast. If I was just trying to write that down and organize my thoughts, it wouldn't flow from me, because I have a resistance to writing like that. But if you love writing, then blogging would be a good medium for you. Now, some of you guys don't have a problem with jumping in front of the camera. You're photogenic, you're energetic, and you like to be in front of a camera. Then a video blog, or what they call a vlog, would be a good option for you to start exposing people to what you know. Because in the online world, and in the world in general, in terms of getting to a place where people will spend money with you, the first thing you have to do is get them to know, like, and trust you. That's why exposing what you know is so important. Because as you start exposing what you know, you start looking at how you're serving your tribe and your community. You're helping them with certain things. They are coming to see you as an authority in the space. And now they're starting to take some of the smaller bites of information that you're feeding them. They're applying them, and they're saying, hey, oh, Cortez said I should do a blog because I like to write. And you write your first blog, and a couple of people read it. You get good feedback. You say, hey, it worked out just the way he says it would. Now you're starting to know me. You're starting to like me, and you're starting to trust me based on the action you took on what I said, and you got favorable results, right? So if you like to be in front of the camera, then video blogging could be good for you. If you like being in front of the camera and you like to talk, right? You can convey a message, right? And you have to do it in a way that's either one or two things. Either the message you're conveying must be empowering and informative, or it must be entertaining. It's got to be one of the two, guys. Nobody's watching a show where it is just boring, unless it's boring, but it's informative. And I kind of am in that boring but informative phase, right? I know my strength is in the information that I'm giving that empowers. I'm not that entertaining. I don't know how to incorporate jokes, right? And that kind of thing. Somebody who's very, very good at that I follow is Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary Vaynerchuk is almost like a stand-up comedian in the entrepreneurial and marketing space, right? I can listen to Gary Vee all the time because he tells these wild stories, but he's got these punchlines that hit you in the gut and make you and compel you to take an action based on what he's teaching. So my method of teaching is more empowering and informative than entertaining, but you got to have one of those two elements, right? And if you're doing that on video, that's great if you don't mind being in front of the camera and you can tell a good story or you can convey a message. Then you have those people who have the ability to communicate a message with their voice, but they don't want to be in front of the camera for whatever reason. I know a lot of people just don't like the way they look, and they are self-conscious in that way, so they will never be on video, but that same person has a lovely speaking voice, right? I hear all the time, Cortez, you've got a voice for radio, right? And guess what? While people say that, you just don't know how much I dislike my voice. It's like, I do not like the way I sound. Me coming back through these headphones is a weird sound for me, but everybody tends to say, hey man, you got that Morgan Freeman type voice for radio, right? People have told me I sound like Denzel. I don't hear that resemblance, but they're like, you've got a voice for radio. And I'm like, that's cool, because I don't mind speaking and I do podcasting and that kind of stuff. But if you have that kind of confidence in your ability to communicate a message via the spoken word, then you might get into podcasting, right? Ladies and gentlemen, I know when you start thinking about this stuff, a lot of people think this stuff is hard to get started. It's not. And you can start all of these things. There's a free way you can do all of these things. There's a free way you can get a blog started if you like to write. There's a free way that you can do video. If you like to do videos, YouTube is still free. Vimeo is free. Facebook Lives, Facebook recorded videos. Those are free ways that you can get into video marketing. Guess what? There's a free way that you can do podcasting, right? If you want to give your message out via the written word, then you should look into something like Anchor.com. Anchor is a podcasting platform that allows you to use your spoken word to put out content, and you can do it right from your cell phone, right? So you can create and build a following on this platform where maybe you're the type of person that says, every morning I do a daily affirmation and I'm just going to record myself doing that affirmation. Maybe people will want to do it with me. Well, guess what? You put that on the Anchor platform, you can market that thing, and you can let everybody know on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you like to hang out in terms of social media, and tell them that every morning at this time, I do a daily affirmation. If you're into affirmation, you might want to come and listen, right? Audio, spoken word. You can do podcasting in lots of ways. You can get your message across with audio clips. And then last but not least, if you are that person that can tell a story with pictures, man, that's a beautiful skill to have. That is not something that I can do, right? You see, if people follow me on Instagram, they like, bro, you need to step your image game up because these little whack images, right? I can't tell a story with Instagram. That's why I'm on Instagram Live right now, because I can tell a story with my voice. So if you can tell a story with pictures, then maybe that's the platform that you're going to use. Now, let me help you with my Boss Up formula for building your brand in the area of exposing people what you know. So Boss Up, BOSSUP, is an acronym that I've come up with, and these are the things that I focus on as I create my content. The B stands for be authentic, right? Let me put these in the comments so that you guys can get them. The B in Boss Up stands for be authentic, guys, there is nothing like being your authentic self. Guys, if you are being yourself, you are one of a kind already. And you're going to attract people to you because they like who you are, right? A lot of times what happens, and this happened to me early on, and it's probably going to happen to you as you get started, you see other people and you want to model what they're doing. And what happens is you take on some of their character traits when you deliver your message. And there's nothing wrong with that. Early on, especially, it's going to happen even without you realizing it's happening. But the more you do you, the more you're going to develop that authentic voice, right? So people, we are in the world of reality TV right now, and people want to connect with the authenticity of the individual, right? They don't want to necessarily connect with the company. They don't necessarily want to connect with somebody who's being fake one way in front of this crowd, another way in front of this crowd. They want to connect with the person that is being authentic. And one of the best things that you can do in your authenticity is don't be afraid to be vulnerable, guys. You know, I talk a lot about some of the things that I've gone through that aren't as easy to talk about, but at the same time, those are the things that made me who I am. Those are the things that gave me strength. I talk a lot about being raised by a single mom on welfare and what that was like. You know, going to school with the beat up shoes and you know, sneaking around at night, burning candles at our house because the electric had gotten cut off. You know, kids are cruel, man. So you get ridiculed and beat up behind stuff like that. But that stuff shaped who I am, right? So I don't run from or shy away from speaking on that kind of stuff, because it also, when you are being vulnerable with people, I told you before that people want to know, like, and trust you. Well, guess what? When you're being vulnerable in that way, you give them different things to connect with. For instance, how many of you guys grew up on welfare, right? I talk a lot about when I was a kid, when we got food stamps, right? Nowadays, food stamps come on a card, right? Because they digitized everything. But back in the day, we would get food stamps and they actually came in a little booklet. You would have to take them to the store, you tear them off, and you give them to the clerk, and you know, they would do what they do with them and all that kind of stuff. I remember as a young man, I was so embarrassed that we were on welfare, that when my mom sent me to the store, it was an all-day event, right? because I was so embarrassed that every time I got to the checkout to buy what we needed, I would see somebody I know. And I didn't want them to see me spending food stamps in the store. So I get out of line, play like I forgot something. I go walk around the store again, and I try to wait until, well, when you live in a small community and you at the community store, you know everybody in there, you know. So it would take me all day to go to the store, because I didn't want to see anybody see me spending food stamps. But here's the funny thing. We lived in an impoverished community, so 90% of the people who were in the store were also spending food stamps, right? But be your authentic self is what the B stands for, right? As you're building your brand, the O stands for operate with integrity, right? So if you're being your authentic self, operating with integrity shouldn't be a hard deal for you to do. People want to know, like, and trust, and ultimately do business with people who are straight up with them. And that's what I try to be, man. I operate with integrity. I'm not trying to beat anybody. I'm not trying to get over anybody. I'm trying to educate and empower people. And I do a lot of that for free. But yes, I have some courses that you can buy from me. That's how I feed my family, right? So make sure that as you start laying the foundation of building your brand, you make being authentic and operating with integrity some of the core foundational pieces of you, the way you expose what you know. Keep those things in mind. Then the first S in boss stands for study success, right? And you're studying success so that you can not copy it, but model it, right? So when you start exposing what you know, for instance, if you chose blogging, then pick whatever you decide to blog about. Say, for instance, you are a foodie and you're going to blog about food, right? Pick the top 10 blogs in the foodie category and model what they're doing. See what's working well for them so that you not copy it, but you model it. You can do things in a similar fashion, the essence of, not necessarily copy, right? So you're going to study success as the first S. The second S stands for, right out of the gate, you need to understand that systems build wealth, not people. Systems build wealth, not people. So everything that you do, you want to develop a system. I have a system for doing my videos, and I'm going to share that with you guys if we have time, right? When you start blogging, as much as you possibly can, you want to develop systems that will allow you to be consistent, that will allow you to be effective, that will allow you to be efficient, right? This formula that I'm giving you, it's a systematic approach to me teaching, because I can remember boss up, right? So systems build wealth, not people. So everything that you do, once you find out that it's working, that it's effective, then you want to build a process or a system around it, right? The U in boss up stands for understand your target market, right? You got to understand your target market and the pain points of those target markets and your unique value proposition that you bring to the market. So when I understand my target, I'm speaking to working class Americans who are looking to supplement their income with a home-based business. I know the pain points of those people because I was one of them. I was working a job. I was not satisfied with my income, right? Mikey knows biz. What's up, man? I was working with on my job. I was not satisfied with my income, but I was also a full-time dad, youth basketball coach. So I didn't have a whole lot of time to build a business, but I needed something to supplement my income. That's why I fell in love with network marketing. Network marketing allowed me to build my business in roughly an hour to 90 minutes a day. I can find that kind of time. 30-minute lunch break here, 15-minute break there, get up a little earlier, put some work in before I went to work, stay up a little bit later, put some work in before I fell asleep, right? So I was able to, I understand that target audience. So a lot of times when I'm presenting about the home-based business, I'm speaking to that pain point that you don't have a whole lot of time, but yet you want to build an extra income. And we can show you how to do that in an hour a day. Understand your your target audience. Who are you speaking to, right? What are they struggling with? And how does your product, service, or your brand help them overcome those things, right? And then the U stands for, the P in Boss Up stands for produce content with all of these things in mind, right? So now that you understand that you're going to be your authentic self, you're going to operate with integrity, you're going to study success so that you can model it, not copy it. You're going to set up systems. You understand your target audience and your unique selling proposition for your brand, what you bring to the table. Now you produce content with all of those things in mind on the medium that you chose, right? So if that medium is blogging, you're going to produce your blogs, being authentic, study successful blogs so you can model what they're doing, right? You're going to set up systems. You understand your target market. So when you're producing this content, you're thinking about all of these things with every piece of content that you create, right? So I think we've covered everything except for my video marketing formula that I call the 5 tell-ems. So keep it locked right here. I've got another short commercial that I've got to run so I can pay some bills around here. But then when we come back on the other side of this break, I'm going to help you with my 5 tell-ems video marketing formula that I do in all of my videos. And I've taught this to hundreds of people, and it just makes your videos flow and you get everything in that you want to get in. So keep it locked right here.
What if a product existed that allowed you to lose weight while you got the best sleep of your life? An all-natural supplement comprised of herbs, extracts, prebiotics, probiotics, and enzymes that work naturally with your body to reduce stress, invoke a relaxed state of mind and body, while simultaneously accelerating digestion and metabolism, resulting in a great night's sleep as you burn calories. The result is you sleep better and you wake up lighter than you went to bed. A world leader in nutritional products, Be Epic, introduces Accelerate, a special 2-capsule combination you take just before bedtime. One prepares your mind and body for a deeper night's sleep, while the other gently works with your body's chemistry to accelerate digestion, flush toxins, increase metabolism, and result in a lighter, leaner you every morning. Discover for yourself the life-changing benefits of this amazing supplement. Order your pack of Accelerate capsules today, backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. Manage your body and mind naturally with Accelerate. Visit the website shown below or contact the person who sent you this video.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur from MonetizeMyLifeNow.com. We're talking about how to turn your gifts, talents, and special abilities into income based on my best-selling book, Monetize My Life, 4 incredibly simple ways to profit from your passions with little to no startup cost. So I told you guys, I love video marketing. That is my strength. I don't mind being in front of a camera. I like to talk and deliver my message via the spoken word. So video is my strength. Here's the other reason that I chose video marketing. Because from video, I can produce and create all the other forms of marketing, right? If I wanted to do a blog, which I am about to launch one here very soon to the Cortez Hustle Show.com website, I'm going to blog about some of these very same topics. But here's how simple it is to create a blog from video. Guys, there's a site like rev.com. I can send them this video and they charge like $1 a minute to transcribe this whole video. So I paid $60 to get this video transcribed, and now it becomes a blog post that I can put on my blog. So while I'm sticking to my strength, I still can put content out that can communicate with people in all the other forms of communication. So my video has now become a written word blog post by having it transcribed. Now, if I don't want to go to Rev and pay $1 a minute, I can go to a site called Temi.com, T-E-M-I, and I think they charge like 10 cents a minute. Now, they use computers, right? So it's not going to be as thorough as Rev.com, who uses actual people, right? Nevertheless, you're talking about getting the information from video form to a written form, right? And now it becomes a blog post. What about those people who like audio? Well, guess what? Audio and video are together. When I'm done with this show right now, I'm going to take the audio from this show and I'm going to send it to iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, all the podcasting platforms, so that people who listen to podcasts, they can get the show the way they like to consume it, right? So people who like to consume the written word, they can get it via a blog. People who like to consume audio only, they want to download it so they can listen to it while they're running, while they're in the gym working out. Well, I can easily create that format from the video. And then, of course, the video itself is its own medium as well. And then if I wanted to take some still pictures from this video, I could do that as well. Now, it wouldn't be as effective, but from time to time, so you guys see how I'm sitting in this video right now. If I scoot it over a little bit to the side, and I took a screenshot of this video, this empty space right here, maybe I take one of the quotes from something that I said during this podcast, and I put the quote up here, and now that becomes an Instagram post, right? That becomes a post that can go on Snapchat. That becomes an image post that can go up on Facebook. So I could technically, from this one medium that I'm producing right now, create all the other 3 mediums to continue to build my brand and put content in front of the people who like to consume images. I can put content in front of the people who like to consume downloadable MP3 files. I can put content in front of the people who like to consume the written word. So exposing what you know, guys, is the foundational part of building your tribe, getting people to know, like, and trust you. You can ultimately then teach those people what you know. We'll talk about the different methods that you can teach people what you know on next week's episode as we get into part 2. But then from teaching what you know, you can then sell what you know. Ultimately, you want to digitize what you know and then add automation. So as promised, before we went to that last break, I'm going to give you my special video formula. This is the way I do all of my videos, guys, and it has worked for me for the last 5.5 years, and I've been able to grow my Facebook fan page to over 100,000 followers, and now I'm working on my Instagram following and my YouTube following as well. My YouTube channel has about 4,200 subscribers, 4,400 subscribers or something like that. But I'm working, man. I'm trying to be everywhere that people are consuming this kind of content. So how do you do your videos? What is the formula for doing a good video that will get people's attention, deliver a message, and have them take action? I call this the 5 tell-ems, right? Number 1, tell them what you, number 1 is tell them, and I actually switched this around. This used to be number 2, but it's now number 1. Tell them what the video is about. And the reason I had to switch that, because on YouTube wants you to say the title of your video in the first 15 seconds, right? So I used to tell them who I am first. Hey, this is H. Cortez, Financial Health Mentor. I switched it to now because that's what you do. You study and you model. When I started looking at all of the successful YouTube channels and all of the successful people who are building great Facebook Lives where they get a lot of engagement, all of those people in the first 15 seconds, they're not telling you who they are. They're telling you what the video is about. And then they later tell you who they are. So I study, I model. So now I had to switch up my 5 tell them. So number 1, tell them what the video is about. Hey, today's video, we're talking about Monetize My Life, how to turn your gifts, talents, expertise, and experience into income. You don't want to miss this video. And if you stick all the way to the end, I'm going to give you a special tip on how I record all of my videos called the 5 tell-ems, right? So tell them what the video is going to be about, number 1. Number 2, tell them who you are. All right. That's now when I actually switch and start telling them my name. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Ace Cortez, financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur from myperfectmoneyplan.com. Listen, I've been on a mission to empower people economically through financial literacy with an emphasis on personal brand development and entrepreneurship. As promised, we're talking about Monetize My Life today, how to turn your gifts into profit, right? So now you tell them who you are. You do your introduction, right? That's number 2. Then number 3. Number 3. You tell them what you're gonna tell them. Well, number 3 is you kind of preview what you're going to tell them, right? So I told them what the video is about when we started. Then I introduce myself, number 2. And then I say something like, hey, in today's video, we're going to talk about 3 things, or we're going to talk about 5 things that will help you monetize your life. Then I go into the actual content, right? So number 4, after you tell them what you're going to tell them, then you tell them. Right now, I get into my 5 things. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Right. So I told them what the video was going to be about. Number 1. Number 2, I told them who I was. Number 3, I told them what I was going to tell them. Number 4, I finally tell them. Right. Number 5. Is you tell them what you told them. Or in other words, you're going to recap the video. So just a quick recap, guys. We talked about the 5 things that you need to do if you're going to monetize your life. You got to expose what you know. You got to teach what you know. You got to sell what you know. You got to digitize what you know. And then you got to automate what you know, right? So now I gave them a quick recap. Remember, you're trying to get people to know, like, and trust you. And you got to educate the people. So in order for them to feel empowered, then you have to repeat the stuff over and over and over again so they get it. So I told them what the video was going to be about when I started. Then I introduced myself. In my introduction, they probably forgot what the video was going to be about. So now I tell them what I'm going to tell them. Then I tell them, I give them the main content. Then I recap, I tell them what I told them. And then number 6, always, always, always have to tell them what to do next, right? So what are you guys going to do next? You're going to go over to monetizemylifenow.com to get your free copy of this book. You cover the shipping. I'm going to send it to you for free. monetizemylifenow.com. Get your free book. If you like this show, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like the fan page. If you're watching on Facebook, leave me a comment on which one of these things you are going to implement starting today. Are you going to pick your medium today? Or are you going to study some success in your industry? What are you going to do today to start exposing people to what you know? That's called a call to action. Tell them what to do next. And number 7. Now, number 7 is kind of optional. Sometimes I call it 6B. Then you tell them your signature close. Now, everybody don't have a signature close. I get it. So that's why that's kind of optional. But I have a signature close, man. And we are now beyond the top of the hour. So that's going to do it for today's episode. I appreciate you all for tuning in with me today. Hopefully you learned something about exposing people so that you can expose people to what you know so that you can monetize your life, turn your gifts, talents, special abilities, experience, or expertise into profit. 4 incredibly simple ways to do that with little to no startup costs. If you enjoyed this show, make sure you smash that share button. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Download the podcast if you're listening on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or any of the podcasting platforms. So that's going to do it for today's show. And this is my signature close. Until I talk to you next time, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.